Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you don't know me, my name is Dolapo and I film about faith, beauty and lifestyle, most especially taking you through my journey as an international student in the UK. If you have not subscribed yet, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel, and if you're a subscriber, thank you so much for subscribing. I hope you guys have enjoyed the previous videos I've uploaded. Today I have a special guest in my midst. I know that many of you have actually been asking me about scholarships. I personally applied for the Alan and Esther Ferguson scholarship, which most of you know if you have watched my previous videos. And so many people have asked, okay, what other scholarships are out there? And I have a few friends here who are also studying in my university that are also on other scholarships, and one of them is Tapiwa. So Tapiwa, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi there guys, nice to meet you, and thank you for inviting me to your channel and also to share my experience. So I'm Tapiwa Makosa, and I had to find this shirt so that you guys can know.
That's true.
For anyone who can guess the name, please put it in the comments. So I'm also studying here at the University of Sheffield under a scholarship called the Chevening scholarship. So she will be grilling me on all things about Chevening. She sent me the questions, but I'm not prepared. So
nah, I'm sure you are.
So hopefully you will like it, and we will share one or two things that will help you and encourage you to apply.
Exactly. So like Tapiwa said, he is on the Chevening scholarship. So many of you may have heard about the Chevening scholarship, some of you maybe haven't, but today this video is to enlighten you on the Chevening scholarship, because there are actually so many scholarships out there. Not so many, but there are actually quite a number, right, of scholarships out there that are fully funded for you to study in the UK, a master's in the UK. So Tapiwa is on the Chevening scholarship, and I'm going to be asking him a few questions so that you guys can kind of have a view of what the scholarship is about. So the first question is, can you tell us briefly about the Chevening scholarship? Like, what is it about?
All right, fine. So guys, before I actually answer her question, I would like to state this and you get it clear. The things that I'm going to share here are my own opinion and are my own experiences. They've got nothing to do with the Chevening scholarship or the UK government which funds the Chevening scholarship. So do not take it as if it's an authority from, do not misconstrue them that it is an authority. This is based on my experience, and the views are only mine, and they do not represent the position of the Chevening scholarship. So I think once we have that cleared and ready, please don't say, oh, I heard from a Chevening scholar. I say, no. These are my experiences. It's not about the Chevening. All right, so I'll start. It's quite an interesting question. What is this Chevening scholarship about? So the Chevening scholarship is a scholarship funded by the UK government, in brief. It's an international, it fits everyone everywhere, in different places, different countries. So it sponsors a 1-year masters at any university that is partner with the UK government and the Foreign and Commonwealth Development Office in the UK, at any university, any program that you want. So it offers you full board scholarship. That means it pays for your tuition, it also pays for your upkeep, it also pays for your traveling expenses to and from your home country.
Wow.
Yep. So that's basically what the Chevening scholarship is, and it's also a scholarship that focuses on people that have had impact in their countries. So they make sure that they ask you questions towards whether you have got leadership skills, networking skills, what are your dreams and what are your aspirations when you come back to implement what you would have studied in the UK. So it's just for 1 year, and you come and study, go back to your country. Don't miss that. Very important.
Very important to say that. Okay, but well, that's very interesting, because like the scholarship I'm on, basically it's only some certain courses that you can study without scholarship. So it's actually nice that it's Chevening scholarship you can study. I didn't even know that you could study any course at all. Wow, that's interesting.
You can study, get this clear guys, you can study anything. The whole essence of the Chevening scholarship is how you can sell yourself to them and show that it is important for you to study and how it will benefit your own country where you'll be coming from. So it's anything. I have friends that studies art, some study music. A couple of weeks ago, actually probably last week, we had a farewell event from the day we are shooting, like I think last Tuesday, so a week ago. We were in London at a farewell event, and there we always meet people who study some of the degrees that you think are funny degrees. But here, as long as you can tell your story, you can share how it will impact you and how it will impact the whole community, you can study any degree in the UK that is offered by a UK university.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow, that's nice. Okay, we're still going to go into it deeper. So then my next question is, so how did you hear about the scholarship? Because so many people always ask me, okay, how did I even hear about my scholarship? And in my last video I actually told them that I just did a Google search, and that was how I found out. So maybe it's different for you. So how did you actually hear about this Chevening scholarship?
All right, that's a good one. Yeah, mine was different. I didn't Google, I didn't find it by Google, but I was referred to it by a friend. So you understand that as individuals we are passing through different pathways. So I was working with the government back home, and then I was at a position where I needed to further my studies. The studies and the qualifications I had wouldn't really allow me to further. So I had friends that I've been working with, and I had told them, I didn't have the monies that were needed, but they knew the type of work that I was doing. And so one of them, I really respect her. She became quite a close friend because she had been my guide. She was the one who said, have you heard about the Chevening scholarship? And I was like, what? Now I'm going to speak this, and if there's any Zimbabwean who's going to watch this, you probably can relate. So the thing with my country, where from I've already let out the
yes, you already said it. Hopefully they're putting in the comment section already.
So sorry guys. All right, so I'll come back to this story. We are not able to access much of the scholarships that are available in different countries because of what can I say, the political relationships that we have with maybe other countries. So for instance, we are not able to apply for the Commonwealth. So it leaves us with limited scholarships that we can really apply on. So she's the person who then came to me and said, Taps, there is this scholarship that is being given. I don't know if you've heard about Chevening. I was like, no, I've never heard about Chevening. And in my mind then, I always thought that scholarships are for, people who are in the news, who are doing big things, you've got big names. And so I never thought like, why would I apply for a scholarship to go for the UK? So initially, she told me like, try this. She's like, have you heard about the Chevening? From that day, I went on the internet now to Google. I Googled and then heard about the Chevening and a heartbreak. I had a heartbreak because I think it was like in May, and then the next first thing you see is, we are closed, or we'll be opening applications in August or around that time, August, and it's in May, and the years that you are going to start, it's not like the coming year, it's like for 2 years from that point.
Oh my God.
So this was like around 2020 May, and I'm hearing that for 2021, 2022, they're already closed.
How come?
So that's how the Chevening cycle goes. Even when you go back to look at their website, they've got all the information there. So it's one of those things. If you're someone who are looking for a quick fix, it might kind of discourage you to be like, okay, they're telling me like right now, I think if you go, the application that will open will be for the year 2024-25. So usually it puts people aback to be like, wait, so there are many I should be going for 2024-2025.
So does that mean that if they apply this year, they can get in next year with the Chevening scholarship?
Those that are coming this year, so those that are supposed to be starting in September
this year,
they've already been announced. They now know who they are coming. Like right now we are in the season. This is July, right?
Yeah.
So we're in the season. The people that are coming for this year, they are now know that they are coming. But they applied last year in between August and November.
Okay. So that means anyone that is looking to get in the UK next year
for Chevening
should apply when they open applications this year.
Yes.
Okay.
When they start, applications do open around we'll put the actual dates because I didn't
we'll confirm.
But it's around August.
Oh, okay.
August, September, October, and ends end of October, the beginning of November. when application opens. And you have your application by then, and then the results, if you are successful to be invited, because it's in 2-3 stages, if I'm to put it that way.
Ooh.
You apply, and then you wait from that November until around early February. That's when you hear whether you've been successful. Now, this success is you have been moved from stage 1. Your application have been accepted, your story had made sense or appealed to them, and then you are invited for interviews at the different UK embassies in your country or higher commissions, depending with where you will be staying. So that happens like in February. You hear whether you have managed to be processed to the interviews. Then from February, interviews usually happen end of February or March, April.
Okay.
And then after the interviews, you wait again to about July. That's when you start June, July, end of June, July. Then you start to know whether you're going to the UK. It's it's a long process. It's a roller coaster ride. I don't want to lie. It's emotionally, you really need to be prepared, guys. I do not want to lie to you. This is what is very important when you're applying, especially when you're applying for Chevening. And I think it's almost the same thing even with some of the other scholarships that I also tried to look into. I was blessed. I would not say myself lucky. I was blessed because I just applied it that one time and I got it on the first time. So maybe I was able to convince them. Who knows? Had I not done that, I wouldn't have met her. But generally, that's the process.
Okay.
You apply in around October.
Okay.
Around August, September, October.
Okay.
But what I would say, now that you have known, you have to start preparing. Don't wait for August to say, "Oh, I'll start applying." You will realize that you'll probably be anxious, and also know that that's the time when you have got a lot of applications from different scholarships opening up. So the pressure that you might have might be too much. So I'm gonna eat into the next question. Really, like how long I then took to prepare. So as in my case, the moment I heard about Chevening and that is going to open in August, this was around May. Because it was around May. From then on, I started YouTube binge watching. Thank you, Nigerian guys. There are many Nigerian guys that helped me.
Yes,
it was like YouTube binge watching. I would go them how to apply for scholarship, and then I had to learn how to write the essays. What do they look at? And this is a very important thing. Watch as many YouTube videos you can. This is basic what we am just giving. This is just basic information. Probably she would do it or I would do it, I don't know. But I can tell you there are other people who have already done it. They've got resources that they tell you like, okay, fine, when you're applying, do this, do this, do this, do that. So I started binge watching them and I made friends with the Chevening website. This is important. Most of us, we don't want to look for the information that is already available. But what I want to tell you is with these scholarships, they have already provided all, trust me, all the information, and at every step and at every stage, what you need to do is there on their website.
Wow.
They will guide you. They tell you we are looking for someone who will tell us about leadership, about networking, about their future plans, and about why they want to study in the UK. And they will tell you like we are going to mark your essays. I'll say mark, all right? Mark your essays according to 1, 2, 3 things and how your story is fitting and is addressing all these issues that we would have raised.
So they are basically giving you the
blueprint. They give the blueprint. There is no guesses. It's how you tell your story. It's how you tell your story, how you believe impactful your story is to them. But the blueprint is there. I would go on their website. I remember I was at work, so I would go earlier at work, dedicate an hour to read a different blog, what to expect. All right, so they look at this. So I would read on their blog, on their website, and then go on YouTube to look for videos that were addressing that question.
Wow, that's a lot of work.
And here I am.
So if you put in the work,
you put in the work, it pays. I think I'll cut it short like that. Start the moment you decide to say I'm going to go for Chevening. Start at that point. Already start at that point. Start working on those essays. It says 500 words. So I think each essay is 500 words, and there are 4 essays, which comes to about 2,000 words. But you have to learn now. You have probably, some of you are born leaders. You've got many things that you have done in life, and when you write, it comes up to 2,000 words already, but you have to cut 1,500. So it also teaches you how to write succinctly, keep it straight and to the point, So you start writing all the ideas. This is what will be important for you when you start writing early. You write as much, and then you start cutting to say, okay, fine, which one drives the point? Which one drives the point home? Which one do I want to emphasize? Because if you start to write under pressure, you realize either you're going to miss an anecdote that would have helped you, or you're going to put information that is not necessarily what you would have wanted to put. So just start practice writing. I've said a lot of things.
Okay, so my next question will be, so how long did it take you to now prepare, in total, to the essays? Because I can say that you have put in so much work already. It's evident. So what would you say, 3 months, 4 months? Because now, let's say people want to apply this year now. Do you think from the moment they see this video till the applications open, do you think that is enough time for them?
Yes.
Okay.
It is enough time. I do believe it is enough time. So what makes the story different is dependent on your experience which you have. So in my case, my first degree was in media studies.
Okay.
And I worked in the public health sector.
Okay.
And then I wanted to study a public health related degree. So it was more of a switch from one career path to another. So I had to use the experience as an explanation as to why I'm making the switch. But for somebody else, probably it's a straightforward. They've been an engineer. They want to study something to do with engineering. So it might be a straightforward. I've studied engineering as, and I'm working for Nigerians. You're probably working with the oil side. It's just banter, all right, guys. Maybe in the oil industry or whatever, and general, probably your career is straightforward. So it's something that you can write down you sit down in one take and just write to say, okay, fine, I studied this. So it's different on different people. What is very important is the information that you have to put. I now have a feeling that we'll probably have to do another video on how to write those things.
Probably, yeah.
So you have got enough information. That's all I can tell you. You have got enough time. When you publish this,
I'll make sure I upload it as soon as possible, because so many people will need to watch it.
If you watch this, let's say in July, you have got a time, because you have now the start of August until the dates open. So if you are dedicated to really want to do this, when you watch this and you'll be like, okay, now I'm going to go to the website. What do they want? You start writing. You have got a lot of time, because you have between the August, September, which is more 3 months also of you writing 4 essays. So you have time.
That's a long time, actually.
You see now, you have time. So depending on your story, for me it took me a while, because I'm not necessarily a perfectionist, but because when I write whilst editing, which is a very long way of writing. Because some people, they first start write and then come to edit. I write a statement and then try to come back and edit it before I add. So it takes me a bit a longer time. But from the moment you are seeing this video, start writing.
Yes.
Or start pestering her.
All right. So my next question: so what are the eligibility requirements now for the Chevening scholarship? Because there's someone out there that is like, okay, this scholarship sounds good, but am I eligible for this scholarship?
All right. I don't want to second guess myself here. So on eligibility, I think there's a lot of information on their website. If you just go there, they'll tell you about the eligibility. But the key ones are, 1, you must be able to get a master's entrance or admission in the UK. That's the first. That's very, very important. And for you to do that, obviously you would need a first degree. Then second, which is key, which is important, is you must have at least 2 years work experience, which they put in hours, which is about 2,800 hours. Now, this work experience doesn't necessarily mean you would have been gainfully employed. It comes from even your volunteering, your NYC, if I'm not mistaken. It also comes from your what we call back home attachment, which is placement. Anywhere where you have worked, even if it is a shopkeeper and you want to start a business, write it down. I worked as a shopkeeper and I want to start the business. For so many years I was bookkeeping. So basically that's that. Also, you must be from a country which is eligible to get funding. This, you can find this information on their website, on the Chevening website, if you go there. But if you're in Nigeria and Zimbabwe, obviously, so don't worry about that.
Okay, all right. And so could you give like some helpful tips, although you mentioned some helpful tips for the essay? So what kind of helpful tips do you give for the interview, which is like the second stage?
Right. So the way the process is structured is, in the interview, it's more like they want to make the connection between what you wrote and who you are in person. You know, it's more of retelling. They are not asking you new things. In my experience, they didn't ask me new things. It's more like they want to confirm if you own the story that you have told us that you can do. Do you know the stuff that you put? You know, so this way, I think this is very important, and I can highlight to say it won't make sense if you outsource your essays, to say write for me an essay for this application, because in the interview you need to prove it. They actually advise to say in the interview you have to restate, not necessarily restate, but if you are to introduce another example, it should make sense to why you have to introduce it differently from what you have already told them. So the interview stage, it's more of can we bridge the gap between what you wrote and the person that is standing up seated before us. Basically, I think that's what I can say about the interview. Obviously, you should be able to own your story. You should be able to sell yourself, which is very important. And I had a friend, because when I was invited for the interview, I actually had to look for former Cheveners. And I can tell you, I had a friend who took me, I think it was a day or some few days before I got to the interview, who met in a public park, and he went through my essays and he taught me. You know, he was like, you know, most of us, we are humble. Should I say we are humble? We do not to sound, and we are not so sure about the work that we have done. But when it comes to Chevening, it's all about blowing your own horn.
Trumpet,
You have to blow it as loud as possible.
Even in your essays.
Exactly. It's all about I've done, I am the best. I'm good at it. I can do this. You know, somewhere Christians want to say, I know by the grace of God, we. No, it's I. I think that's very important. It's I have did this. I have done this. I am able to do this. I am able to impact this way. So that's very, very important in your essays, and also when you come to the interviews. Even if, now this is important, even if you did something together as a group, you should be able to single out your responsibility and the impact that you did. In this interview, it's her YouTube, but I'm owning it, because I will be like, I did that interview also, and I'll be like, guys, if you want to see a video of me talking about Chevening, I did this.
Which is
so if that makes sense for you, I just try to give it as an example. You have to own your story. You have to sell yourself. Don't be humble about it.
Don't be humble.
And you did it. Some people might, let me just drop in this. Some people might feel like, okay, fine, I do have experience of working in the government, you know, doing those menial jobs, like the everyday stuff you do. You're just an officer. You come in, you do your accounting or you do your business. Tell that story. What you did, how did it impact at the national level, at the council level, at the community level, wherever. Just tell that Me inputting those numbers in the system, we managed to realize that, the data represented a lack of education in this sector. And I wrote a report to my supervisor and told them we probably needed to focus on this. Focus on that. That's your story. Own it.
Own it.
Yeah.
So good. So good. Thank you so much for that. What has been your experience so far as a Chevening scholar? Because I'm asking that because so many people will wonder, okay, now after getting the scholarship, what is the reality of my life going to be? The funds, are they enough for your upkeep here in the UK? Did you have to get extra jobs to fund yourself? Like, how would you say your experience has been as a Chevening scholar? Are they responsive if you have any issues or questions, things like that?
Yeah, so my experience here, it has been wonderful. In all honestly, it's been wonderful. The way Chevening runs is you get a monthly stipend, which is already predetermined each different year. So you will get to know how much you will be getting at when you are invited or when you are selected for that.
Okay.
What I can say is the stipend itself is basically enough to cover and to sustain you the basic needs that you need. I'm talking about rent, food, clothing, transportation, but the other things that you probably need, you are a grown-up person. You should then be able to budget. You should then be able to save.
Yes.
You should then be able to see, okay, fine, with what I want to do, if you have got the black tax, all right, black tax, we send us something because you're in the UK. So how are you now going to juggle between your academic responsibilities? Because remember, you're being sponsored to come to school. For your academic performances, there are opportunities to work. You can work as long as you are not exceeding breaking the law. Basically, if you are not breaking the law, you can work and you have to study because obviously they will look at your performance and the school you are going to learn to is like partner fund. They fund about 20% of the fees. So obviously there will be so it's like a joint. When you be applying, you realize that we have like a Chevening partners. So what that means is if the international, I'll give an example for Sheffield. I think the international tuition fee was around 22,000, something like that.
Yeah.
So basically what they have now, Chevening will chip in with, let's say 20,000, and then the 2,000 must come from the university.
Okay.
So it's like that's how you are sponsored. But don't worry about all these numbers that I've spoken. It's you just signing and you just knowing you won't be going anywhere. The university you are going to go, they will know you are a Chevener and everything will be sorted. Let me just assure you on that one.
Okay, so and then this is similar to my last question. So how has life been in the UK for you in terms of settling in, the culture shocks, all of that?
All right. Yeah. Well, it's different. That's basically the UK is different. It's different from Africa. It's different from all kinds. It's different. That's the starting point. The first thing is you are alone. That's the first point.
That's the hard reality.
It's you are alone.
Except if you came with family.
Exactly. If you just come alone, you actually have to accept that you are alone. And from the point of being alone, you start working yourself to connect with people. Let me put it that way, because it's not an environment where we are used back home. I think even back home you can, it's actually awkward to pass a stranger and not greet them. But here, if you greet a stranger, you are likely to be, what are you trying to do? I don't know you, kind of thing, even if it is a student, so. But
they're still quite friendly.
Yeah, they are friendly.
Yeah, they'll still smile at you, but.
Exactly. It's one of those, they don't understand it from our perspective. Obviously, you can say, oh, hello, ma, and if it's an elderly lady, she can just greet you and then you go. It's a bit different. So that part, but how I tried to go about it is universities have got welcome weeks, like you can come in a week earlier,
like open days and
exactly
all of that.
So you can come in a week earlier. There you get to meet your classmates, the people you're going to be learning with. And like at the University of Sheffield, there are many activities, society, so you get to see, okay, fine, which society can I join, where can I fit. And from then on, so you have to relearn to make friends again.
Yeah.
And
true.
the easiest port of call sometimes is your countrymen. So find some Nigerians, find Zimbabweans, find people from your country. At least you have common, but you start building from there. And secondly, also is, I think for me, my experience is I tried to live vicariously through the internet. So I made use of YouTube.
Okay.
A day in Sheffield. I think I would Google weird things like, what is a day in the town of Sheffield?
What does it look like?
Let me tell you, there's actually a video out there of someone who was walking in Sheffield, like saying, okay, fine, I'm now walking in Sheffield. This is this. You'll be seeing a video and you'll be seeing. So I had like a mental picture of what the town in Sheffield looks like. This is what I did. I tried to be like, okay, this is what I want to expect. They've got red buildings, or they've got grey buildings, or it's a hilly site. Or so I tried to be like, try to check. At times I would probably go on Google Maps, you know.
From Zimbabwe?
I was in Zim.
Wow.
Seated in my office. Go on Google Maps. This was like during the time when I knew like where I was going to stay. So go on Google Maps. You know, Google Maps comes out, it shows you like, and then I would go to the Earth view to really see, okay, fine, what does this building really look like?
That's another level.
That's how I tried to prepare myself.
Wow.
It was more like, okay, fine, so what does the street view? So when I got here, obviously, I think that's the other thing. You have to learn to use
the Google
Maps. I had my own phone. I'll tell you a story. I came here, wanted to register. It did me. I could only see that my phone was for Africa.
Oh wow,
guys. And I had to get a phone which is for the UK.
Really?
Yes. It just couldn't function the way I would have wanted it. Back home it was fast. Here it had all the internet and Wi-Fi it needed. I think it was shocked. I can tell you. I think my phone was shocked to like, no, my guy, back home would function maybe because your internet was slow. Here this internet is too fast. It just couldn't keep up. I was forced to get a phone here. That's my weird experience. Because you probably need it for maps, for addresses, and yeah, there are certain functions that I didn't know my phone has, and how needful I would need of them. Only to realize when I got here, you catch a bus, you have to know what time it's going to be there, because you might go to a bus stop and wait for an hour. No, it's better you stay home because it's snowing. 5 minutes, it tells you can walk 5 minutes to the bus stop, then you go there. So everything is like that.
Wow, awesome. So my final question, what advice would you give to people out there that are planning to apply for the Chevening scholarship? So it depends on whenever they are watching this video. They could be watching it next year, you know, in 2023, and they want to apply. So depending on when they are planning to apply, what advice would you give to people based on your experience, you know, applying, and based on your experience here in the UK and all of that? So what advice will you give to them?
It's worth it, guys.
Love that. It is actually.
It's worth it.
Yeah.
We can talk a lot of things, but the horizons it opens for you. The doors it opens for you. Come on, I'm meeting her. You know, and she's also in a different scholarship. We have to share notes. You know, if I hadn't had this opportunity of meeting different people, that means it's different opportunities. If I need anything now in Nigeria per se, I know it's like a WhatsApp away. So that's the part of it brings network. You know, why would you want to come? It opens like your mindset to the opportunities that are there in the world. It's sometimes it's good to come out of our comfort zone, and you realize that there is probably where life will be lived based on the input that you give. You know, and you'll be judged with the input that you give. You'll be judged with and you'll be paid back, you know, with their hard work. It's not based upon, oh, it's minister's son or this other's partner or your papa's child. No, it's what you put into it it gives you back, you know, it opens horizons. It's a great network of people, great opportunities. For the Chevening scholarship, I know, just even if it means name dropping that I'm a Chevenite. That's just that alone, yeah. Just that the prestige it brings to say, oh, I'm a Chevening scholar.
Yes.
People will really understand. It's an aspect that took me a while to understand. Because again, trying to be humble.
That's humility, that's always affecting us.
You try to be like, oh, you know, guys, I'm just trying. And then you realize you get into certain spaces. You mention that you're a Chevening scholar. They know how impactful that is. And then you realize, wait, all right, it gives you a voice. If I'm also to say it gives you a voice to say something, because they know the process that you had to pass through and to be selected. You definitely have something that had been seen to say you can be impactful. So
okay, and sorry to cut you short. So now in the sense of having to go back after 1 year, how does that feel like?
Well, when you grow up, you just need to be a person who is driven by integrity and honesty. So take it this way. When you write those essays, you are telling them, I want to come back and do this. Now, for Chevening, you are obligated to go back to your home country for at least 2 years.
Okay.
Before you can relocate.
Come back again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before you can come back and stay in the UK or go maybe into another country. You're obligated to go back home for at least 2 years. I think you have to know this.
Yes.
You have to know this, and they will actually be so gracious to make sure they book you a ticket back home. This is July. I have my ticket to be going back home already.
Serious?
I know it, and I know when I'm going back home and what time I'll be arriving.
Oh my God! Wow.
Yeah, that's how thorough they are.
Wow.
When it comes to that. So I think that also teaches you to really learn working with calendars, dates, time frames. You know, personally, there were areas that I had a weakness. You know, I would probably go into something and be like, I will see, I'll think about it. But yeah, it's not. I think that's another culture thing. Yeah. It's not necessarily about I will see, I will think about it.
It's about what the system.
Your supervisor will tell you it's a meeting at a certain time. They expect you to be there. Or it's, please, if you say you are supposed to be giving me a chapter a week, please, I want to see a chapter a week. Yeah, you know, it teaches you some of those things also.
Wow.
So yeah. Wow. Please, I'll re-emphasize this. Have that in mind.
Yeah.
Have that in mind. And when you're going to sign, if you are selected, when you're going to sign, know that you will be going back home after the duration of the 1 year. But
then at least the time spent, that 1 year spent doing your master's is worth it. It has already opened doors of opportunities for you. So even if you go back home, I'm sure there are some kind of jobs that when they see that, oh, you're a Chevening scholar, it's already open for you because they know that you have come back with that experience from the UK and all of that. So don't let it discourage you. Just have it in mind that yes, you will need to go back after in duration of your masters, but also see that an opportunity that, you know, more doors are opening up to you. It doesn't mean that you may never come back to the UK again ever. So Tapiwa, thank you so much for. Honestly, guys, I know that it's been a long video, but I believe that it has been exhaustive enough, and it has, like, we've explained everything we need to explain about the essays and all. I don't know, we might not do a separate video specifically talking about essays. We might or might not. Right now we're both working on our dissertation, so things are a bit, you know, are a bit tense. But thank you so much, Tapiwa, for taking out time. I really do appreciate it. I'm sure my subscribers as well and people watching are so grateful. Guys, if you have enjoyed this video, if you have learned something from this video, please like this video, share to other people that you know that are also interested in applying for the Chevening scholarship, and also please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. That will go a long way for this channel and for us as well. So thank you once again, Tapiwa. God bless you.
Thank you.
Guys, I'll see you in my next video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Can I plug in myself?
Yes, sure. Please go on. go on.
She will put the actual name, but I think if you search Tapiwa Makosa, well, I do have a YouTube.
Okay.
And I'm thinking she's already way ahead. I've always been thinking, should I start doing something like this? So you can follow me. I'm Tapiwa Makosa on YouTube. On Twitter, I'm there also.
Okay.
We'll put it because it's a weird name.
It's fine.
But it's Tapiwa Makosa again.
So you guys, please subscribe
you
to
can
his
follow
YouTube channel.
also, yeah.
Yes. Yes. All right.
Till next time.
Yes.
All the best. Bye.